Hello everyone, welcome to the newest playthrough of Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelist of the Roses Redux mod. So, this run is gonna be with rock monsters. Now, one interesting thing about the rock monsters is that we can instantly grind up our pretty much perfect rock deck. But I'm gonna at least try to do this first episode and beat hopefully the first opponent with just the vanilla starter deck. So, seems like we've got a couple of dragons to make a Stone Dragon or Stone D, who is one of the strongest rock monsters in the game. Dryad is a female, so Dryad can make Sandstone, right? I think you just turn things to the Wasteland, which is our benefactor field. Don't really know what Wing Egg Elf does. It might be part of the rock fusion, but after that we just have a bunch of rock monsters, mostly just fusion fodder if we're being real honest. Yeah, most of it is just fusion fodder. We got Magical Labyrinth, and then a Bright Castland Invigoration and a Bear Trap. Alright. So, this is what the team looks like. Honestly, it's not that good. In general, rock isn't that good, if I'm being honest. Once again, similar to, the zombie deck, they lack power, basically. I think the strongest rock monsters are Millennium Golem, Sandwich, yeah, it's called Sandwich, right? Yeah, no, I think it's called, the 2100 Witch, I think it's called Sandwich, which is pretty funny. And, of course, Stone D, those are the three strongest monsters based on stats alone. There is one monster that is of the rock variety, who is, in my mind, potentially the strongest monster in the game. And I'm a little unsure if I want to abuse that monster or not. Obviously we don't have it in the starter deck, and it's a card you can only get by reincarnation, but it's a really strong deck. I'll probably, or a really strong card, I'll probably get it, show him off in a couple of the maps, and then I'll probably make you guys decide if he's too strong or not. So to be honest, I think we just throw these guys out of here. Yeah, we don't get any buff on the mountain, so we really just want to get a weather report and just make some fusions into Stone D. And the other one, I think this map is pretty difficult if you don't have any terrain, and also, the whole low attack thing. Prisman, well, this card is flipped face up, all your spell cards are flipped face down. That is, don't feel like that comes into play that often. I'm also trying to think, I know Stone Dragon is a decent component to other fusions, right? Just not really this one. So, Stone Dragon I think is just an earth monster. Hey, at least it's got decent stats. Although, honestly, they're not even that impressive. Stone Dragon's best asset is the fact that it can fuse into a couple of different monsters. If anything, that's kind of the best asset of rock in general, is to make Stone Dragon. And Sandwich. Sandwich is also really easy to get. That being said, I don't know how difficult this match will be. I suppose it really doesn't matter where we put our deck leader all that much. Of course, one main thing is that he gets plus 500 from being near his deck leader, so For instance, this thing we cannot beat with Stone Dragon. The chance of whatever this thing is beating us is also just quite high, so... I see that Prisman is a light monster, but Prisman also doesn't seem to be that worth it to like boost up. This thing will has like a +1000 now, will beat up Stone Dragon probably pretty easily. Hell, even that thing, an Aquabeam with 2050. I mean, the only thing this thing has got going for it is that he's got the 500 bonus from the what's it called, but it's pretty hard to just beat over that. The 2000 is not hard to beat over if you got the terrain advantage. I think we're pretty desperate on getting up our weather report. To be honest, like a lot of the decks feel pretty hopeless if you like don't have either your terrain or your deck leader bonuses while the opponent does, because usually that is a 1000-point swing you're playing against. And honestly, most often than not, you're just not able to beat over that. Well, look at that, we got Invigoration at least there. I don't feel like it is even worth it to buff you up like that. But at least it doesn't beat Giant Soldier of Stone if it goes forward. I kind of just can't see how we'd even win this. Good, never mind. It seems to be close enough still to the deck leader to get that bonus. Unless I looked at things wrong and it just got like a boost from the what's his face. Just that little beam just blasts through it. It's an interesting cry he's got. I think I'm gonna be honest and say that we're probably not winning this duel. You do give off like +500, I think so, yeah. You increase same type friendlies. Well, I guess we're gonna go and defend for our lives now. Oh no, Giant Soldier of Stone. Okay, well now the whole army is up against me. Alright, well let's see what this Wing Egg guy can do. Absolutely nothing. Alright, well I kind of figured that would happen. I don't know, there's probably some sort of reason it's been put in the deck. Although, I mean, there's also like, you know, sometimes decide to put in filler in some of these starter decks. It's just that, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like most of the starter decks is just straight up impossible to just win with the vanilla starter deck. Mostly down to the fact, like, if you even somehow get the advantage, the moment you get the advantage, the opponent will put everything in defense. And like, we've got a Brightcaster and an Invigoration. That's 800, right? I don't think Brightcaster even works on what's his face. I don't think the card even works on Sandwich. So it's like 2400 is the highest we can get. This is annoying. Okay, my recording stopped working, but I got it pretty much instantly, so nothing of value was lost. Yeah, we're just kind of fucked. Like, this starter deck has no way in hell of winning this fight. Like, the highest we can get is up to 2400, and this thing already has 2650, and it's not even his strongest monster. You know what I mean? Like, there's sometimes I just wonder what they expect from you in something. Like, I'm always kind of just assuming that they expect you to just grind, like, 2 hours before you even get started with these battles. Because, I mean, this Aku Beam is just going to slaughter every one of our monsters. We literally, I think, cannot get over it. Like, one Winged Pitch here, and it's impossible for the rock opponent to beat. The rock deck to beat Teo. Which just kind of, to me, seems like a little bit of a flaw. Like, I get that it's built in the idea that you may, like, just reincarnate more and more and more, but like, yeah, it's pretty goddamn rough. So here comes Happy Lover. And, you know, he just kills our Morphin Jar, which is whatever. But, yeah, I mean, we're gonna be cornered pretty quickly. I mean, we're pretty desperate on getting Weather Report, because that's like the only way to turn things around slightly. We didn't get it, unfortunately, but I mean, we're technically still winning. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately decided to attack with Aku Beam, which, like, it just ended, right? Like, that just kind of ended. Oh, well, there goes there goes your life point advantage. So yeah, we didn't really draw the cards we needed to that whole time. So I'm just going to surrender here, which, to be honest, might not even be the worst strat. Is just to surrender 5 times in a row, and then just get your reincarnations that way. I mean, that's usually the fastest way to grind cards to get from like solely reincarnation. But yeah, having another look at our deck real quick. Like, we made Stone Dragon, which was like cool, but I think the rocks are pretty much at the end, right? Yeah. So we made Stone Dragon. Stone Dragon is just an Earth monster, which is the same for, you know, every rock monster except Prisman, it seems. And we did not get Bright Castle specifically for just Prisman, I'd imagine. Otherwise, it's just a really terrible deck. Like, this is just, like, it's not a very good starter deck. I'll say the one thing is that it's, I mean, it's got the majority of the rock monsters, right? So there's that. And, like, it gives you 3 dragons, which is nice, and it gives you only really 1 female to make Sandwich, which is kind of unfortunate. So they also noticeably only give you, like, they give you specifically 2 of each monster. I've noticed. Yeah, one thing which I usually do, which, you know, I don't have really much to fill this episode with. I mean, we could fight Thea pointlessly and just lose again, because like with this current deck, we probably stand like maybe a 2% chance of winning against her. And that is specifically if we get like everything perfect and if she gets like nothing to show for it. So first we must save to like complete the deck. I mean, to complete the save file. Because now we go back to the title screen and yeah, I'm assuming most of you guys will know that like I usually just grind in this way, but you can go to custom duels and you can face off against a rock opponent. You even get her cards by beating her, which is pretty interesting. So you can do things like life point setting to like lower life points down to like 1, for instance, or to like even more, like we can get fight. Okay, only I can apparently lower my life points. You can't lower the life points of the opponent. I did not know that. I don't really deal with that very much. I mean, you can buff this up to 12, which I suppose is better than nothing. You may as well, I guess. And like with this, you can change the map in whatever way you'd want. So, like, what I usually like. Actually, thinking about it, these are all of the, no, they're not. I thought for a second that these were just like all of the story map, but they're not. But like usually what you do is you either face her off on this map to grind up to like 99 turns to get your star units up, right? To get your, you know, your rank up with your deck leader and whatever. Or you like play her against like one of these maps to get like your advantage, your terrain advantage, just to beat her to get like 3 in a row, to get you know, your boss monsters for each type. Although I guess it wouldn't really matter with us both being rock. So like logically you just play on this map, right? You see, I put in 12 to make shit a little easier. But like the thing you just do is put up 5 monsters. And okay, we just start with 4, but we get 12 after this turn. Okay. You just plop them down like this. And she does her thing, which she realizes that sometimes she'll throw a monster out here, sometimes not. It depends a bit. But yeah, now you can afford to use every monster, which, I mean, this at least allows us to get sand, or mystical sand. I call it sandwich the whole time. It's mystical sand. Excuse me about that, by the way. But here we get mystical sand, who is like, unfortunately enough, the strongest rock monster. So, like, I guess Bright Castle is just plain and simple, almost useless. And like it just like here it kind of shows the big disadvantage of this deck, Like, we can get 5 spaces up into Wasteland, right? So, like, the baseline deck, like the baseline starter deck of Rock has the ability to make it monster from 2900. That is the maximum, which is not high at all, and it's incredibly limited to these 5 spaces. Like, they give you weather report, but I feel like they really should have just given you the terrain card to start off with. Okay, well that guy I guess doesn't make Stone Dragon. I'm not 100% sure why he didn't fuse that time to Stone Dragon. Wicked Dragon might not be strong enough. Is that the thing? It could very well be that Wicked Dragon isn't strong enough, because like now we throw out Lesser Dragon and yes, it's strong enough. I think you need to be 1200 at least to make Stone Dragon, so we have even less of a possibility to make Stone Dragon, which sucks. But yeah, I mean, these are like 2 main aces, but we can make only 1 of each, which is yeah, pretty terrible. So honestly, at this point, I've made a pretty... I honestly think I made a pretty good observation of how like good the starter deck is, and like that it's pretty goddamn horrendous. So yeah, I'm pretty much desperate to like... I'm forced to grind out this deck to its most optimal, and we'll see you guys. You'll see that next episode where fuck, I probably grind it up to like 2 or 3 hours, which that's gonna be fun. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this first episode as much as it was pretty hopeless. But yeah, next episode we'll have the hopefully we might even have the most optimal possible Rock deck, but well, we'll find that out next episode. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next episode. Goodbye.